What's up guys, it's Ivan and today is a Friday, so I wanted to show you what a day in the life looks like for a PhD student. If you are new here, my name's Ivan. I am a first year PhD student at the University of California, San Diego, where I study education. And so today's a special day actually because I am in week 9, but my program has this first year symposium that we have to do as first year students. And so that's actually in about 50 minutes, and we have to present a PowerPoint of our journey through our first year, sharing some highlights, sharing some things that we plan to do in the future, so in the summer plus year 2. And so right now I'm actually just tightening up my poster, that way I'm able to present. It is on Zoom, so we will have the whole event on Zoom, but I wanted to show you what that looked like just in case you were curious. But also I don't think most PhD programs have something like this as a first year milestone, but my program does, so I wanted to show you, and I really wanted to document it for myself, just that way I can see it next year, and just kind of see how I have grown and progressed with PhD, with academia, with my professional life. But I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please leave them down below and I will get to them as soon as I can. You guys, so here's what my poster looks like. It actually came out better than I expected. I've been working on it for the last 2 days, and I literally just finalized it. You all know me already, like I just procrastinate every single time. My presentation is in 30 minutes, but knowing myself, I waited last minute to do it. So I added one last bullet point here in this section here, and that's my poster. So I'm going to be talking about my first year in review. As you can tell, I'm going to be talking about my research interests, my summer 2021 plans, my year 1 highlights. My program has this thing called RAC, so it's a research group that we attend. So we had to visit 4 different ones, or 3 to 4 different ones. So I'll talk about those, my community visits, because they want us to get to know the community of San Diego. And then my year 2 goals. I decided to go with a photo of my former students who were graduating at this time, just because I really came to this program because of my students that I worked with, my experiences as a first generation low income student living in a rural context, and access to education was really difficult. And so that's really why I decided to come to the program. And so I wanted to put them at the forefront just because they are what drives me, and they motivate me to succeed and move past the PhD to make changes in the community college level. And so I'll be discussing kind of a little bit about that and just kind of my journey, what brought me here, what I have done this year, my summer plans, my year 2 plans, and then that's pretty much it. The presentation is only 5 minutes plus like a Q&A Zoom breakout rooms, and so 5 minutes is not that much time, so I need to practice right now. That way I'm able to stay within the 5-minute mark, because they are going to cut us off if we go over 5 minutes. So I want to kind of get down what I want to talk about and what I want to say in terms of my first year experience. So I'm going to do that practicing now just because I want to be prepared, and it's in 30 minutes, so I literally have not that much time to practice. So I'm going to show you a clip right now of me practicing, and then I'm going to try to film myself actually giving the presentation. So I'm writing out a script. It's kind of blurry, but I'm just gonna glance at it, and really I think once I start going, I know what I'm gonna talk about. I just need to get the introduction. I need to figure that out, because for me, when I present, that's the hardest part. How do I entice the audience to want to listen? And that's where I'm working on right now. Everything else I already know what I'm going to say kinda, or I can just BS it, which I'm really good at BSing. And plus it's about my journey, so I know the answers. No one's going to be like, oh, that's wrong. So it's about my journey, so I can really say whatever I want. I could omit whatever I want. I know what I did, and so I'm not that worried about the content. I'm more worried about the introduction, the story, because I'm going to start off with kind of talking about why I chose to come into this PhD program and how that has led to my research interests and the things that I have done within the program. And so that's the hard part. And then also the ending is something I'm working on as well. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today and celebrating Cohort 5's first year achievements. My name is Ivan Valdovinos, and I wanted to start off, or good morning everyone, thank you for joining. Good morning everyone, thank you for being here today and celebrating Cohort 5's first year achievements. My name is Ivan Valdovinos, and today I wanted to walk you through my journey as a first year PhD student in the EDS department. Prior to coming to EDS, I worked as a director for a federally funded program where I helped first generation low income students and students with disabilities persist, graduate, and transfer. And so through that experience, I witnessed some of the inequities that my students were facing in terms of transfer and really just navigating a community college system. And so those experiences really drove me to apply to a PhD program because I wanted to become an expert in these spaces, and I wanted to, provide that transformative change that I envisioned community college in my state could become. And so that prompted me to apply for the PhD program, and so that prompted me to apply for the PhD program and eventually come. So I wanted to start off with my research interests. So I'm interested in researching college access and equity with the focus on rural education, community college, and men of color. And I do my work in a qualitative methodology, but also through taking coursework this year, I'm considering doing mixed methods, some simple, quantitative analysis that complement my qualitative findings. And so I want to merge these two methodologies to make a greater impact. And the reason why I am interested in these topics is because I actually have lived in rural communities all my life. I went to rural schools in K through 12, and then I also attended an undergraduate institution that was in a rural town. And so I am part of this community, this rural community, and I have faced a lot of challenges as I transitioned through different phases of my educational career. And so I wanted to really learn more about the rural education context and how college access could be more difficult for rural students in my state. And so throughout this year, I have explored that field, and I hope to continue to explore that field in my professional career after the PhD. Some year one highlights are, so this year I really wanted to continue to, I wanted to learn theory, but I also wanted to, apply the theory to practice. And so when I had the chance of being a graduate student researcher for the Chancellor's Associate Scholars Program, I said yes right away. And the reason why was because this experience allowed me to do both, do some research, but also apply research to practice and continue working with students and mentor students. And so one role that I had as a graduate student researcher was working on a research project. So right now we are, myself and my supervisor are working on a project where we are exploring the educational journeys of disqualified students. So we want to know what happened before these students got disqualified, what did they do while they were disqualified from UCSD, and then how are they making sure that they are succeeding post when they're returned back to UCSD. So right now we are interviewing students who have been disqualified and have been at UCSD for a year now post disqualification, and we're trying to figure out how we can best support these students so first they don't get to that point of disqualification, but if they do, what resources, what programming can we implement within CASP to be able to help them navigate the disqualification process. And so that has been a really good experience for me, not just for research skills, not just for me gaining research skill sets, but also because we get to hear the stories of these students who have gone through a lot. Really, when I've been interviewing these students, I heard a lot of tragedy, and it's really nice for me to kind of learn more about students. You guys, I'm on the call, so I actually practiced, but it went over 5 minutes, but at this point, whatever, I'm just gonna do it and then wing it, and I'm gonna time myself, and then if it goes over 5 minutes, they'll cut me off. But I'm on the call. I'm sure it's gonna go well, but I'm a little nervous. All right, so we finished the presentations. It went great. I'm going to share a little bit of comments that I got in the chat, which were really inspiring just because I literally focused my presentation on like my community, who I am, my background, and what drove me to the program. So I wanted to show you all like a couple of comments that I received from the chat when I was presenting. So let me get into on my computer because I do film these videos on my phone, so I can't look at my phone to let you know what people said in the chat. But let me sit down and show you all. Before I share the comments that I received, I wanted to just mention that, you know, I always get really nervous when I present, and this symposium, 50 people came to the symposium, so that's a lot of people. I just get nervous. I don't know why. I just get the jitters, and so honestly, I felt like throwing up prior to me going, and I was second to the last to do my presentation. So the whole time through, I was like nervous, wanting to puke. I was doing like breathing exercises because I just freaking was so nervous. But it went well. Once I get going, then I just go. And so yeah, so I just wanted to share that because if you have like anxiety with presentations, you know, one way to combat that is by preparing ahead of time, you know, practicing your presentation and just being confident and just, you know, go with it. You know, you have the skill sets, you prepared, you know what you're doing, so just be confident in your presentation. One of my favorite comments that I received was a professor said, "Love that you included your student," and then they quoted me, which I thought was a great quote because I truly believe this. So the quote was, "I don't want my work to just be in a journal," and I truly mean that. You know, like, I don't want to just conduct my work, write these studies just for a journal. I want to apply what I found into real spaces, real settings. And so I really like that someone actually quoted me on that in the chat. And then she says, "Yes, thank you so much for focusing on the role experience. I appreciate your advocacy and work." Someone else said, "Ivan, I love how you always ground your work and start with your why. Your students are so lucky to have you. I so admire the work you do. It was so great to hear all you are doing. Next time you are a guest lecturer, I would love to come learn from you." Someone else said, "Great work, Ivan. Your journey is so inspiring. Looking forward to your insightful work at the practice of research and practice. Appreciate your sharing your life experience and goals, Ivan. Your expertise, efforts, dreams are an inspiration, and it will be exciting for them to come to fruition." Someone said, "I really appreciate you sharing some of your story with us and how it continues to inform your work, Ivan. So powerful and such important work you are doing." Let's see what else. Someone shared with me in a private chat, like, you know, their experience living in a rural community of 80 people in North Dakota. So I like that people were connecting with what I was saying and my work, because I think it is very important work that I'm doing, and I'm hoping to continue to do that as my professional career. Okay, so now that that's over, I'm going to relax a little bit. I do have a couple of assignments I have to grade for the class ITA. It's only 2 essays I have to grade, but actually I'll get to that this afternoon. But I'm gonna eat some lunch right now, watch some YouTube. Alright, so an update. It's been a lot of hours now. Honestly, I've been really tired this week. I have had multiple presentations this week, and so I've been exhausted. We are in week 9, which means we're almost in finals week, and some finals were actually due already, and so I've been working on those and just been exhausted. So I took a big nap after that presentation. I did help my sister out with a couple of things because she's moving, so I went to go help her throw some things in the dump, and then after that I came home and honestly just relaxed, watched a couple of YouTube videos, and fell asleep. And right now I am woken up. It's gonna be it's 8:30 p.m. I'm headed to the theater to watch a movie, but I'm gonna end the vlog here because I'm just gonna go to the movies, watch the movie, eat some popcorn, and then come home and go to sleep. And then tomorrow I'll start working on some assignments that I have still due before finals week. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in the next video.